All right, well, it's new machine day in the shop. I'm super excited about this machine in particular. It's been one I've wanted to have for a long time, and today's the day where I get to take it out of the box and put one together. So this is a Cobra NP4 skiver. This is from Tandy Leather, sent by Leather Machine Company. So Leather Machine Company sells Cobra machinery. That's where I bought my Class 4 sewing machine. And the reason I like them so much, the reason I'm also excited that Tandy is working with Leather Machine Company is because you get the customer service and the support that Leather Machine Company offers. So when I have trouble with the sewing machine, I can call them. They can help me work out any problem. So that goes a long way. You might find a better deal on eBay. I was tempted as I was looking for belt skivers to just maybe snag one on eBay or something like that. And that might work out really well, but if I run into a problem, I'm really glad to have Leather Machine Company backing it up. So massive thanks to Tandy. Tandy made this possible. I'm working with Tandy to have this in the shop. They supplied it so that I can show you the way around the machine as I learn it. I'll be able to use it in my own projects and hopefully demonstrate, give you a really good idea of what it's capable of as well. So join me as I unbox it and we'll see how it works. Well, so here's how it comes. This all came on a pallet actually in a shipping truck. So I loaded that into my pickup, brought it to my house and took everything off the pallet up the stairs, and here we are. So we've got a real heavy box. I'm assuming this is the machine head. A couple other lighter boxes. This is the pedestal, which will eventually have some casters on the bottom, so this can be rolled around the shop. One thing that's kind of nice about this, it looks like, is that this table is kind of narrower. Doesn't take up as much room as the big sewing machine, so it has a little smaller footprint and it can kind of be wheeled around in different places. So that's kind of cool. So I guess I'll start by taking all the cardboard off, seeing what's in the boxes and spreading things out. All right, well, we got it opened up here, and the first thing I noticed in the box are some chunks of leather. And these have already been skived, it looks like. So that's a really good sign, because I remember when I got my Class 4 sewing machine, also from Leather Machine Company, there was a big thick piece of leather that had already been sewn, and that was still in the machine. So they had already set that machine up to sew that leather. So it looks like this is already dialed in as well. So hopefully when I get it assembled, it's going to be at least ready to do this to a piece of leather. So that makes me feel really good. So I'm gonna keep kind of unloading here and see what we can find. Okay, so here is the machine, and it's heavy. It's a big hunk of steel, and I like that. So next thing I'm gonna do is put the casters on the table, because it's gonna be tricky to do after we put this on the table. So we'll put the casters on the table, then we'll see if we can bolt this on and just sort of take one step at a time. All right, so I got this up on the table, got the casters on. I found a little baggie with 4 screws. Thankfully, there aren't too many extra screws and nuts and bolts laying around at this point. So these 4 screws, I think, mount this to the table. So I see 4 little holes here, and I'll screw this in and then see where to go from there. All right, so now that we got the machine fastened to the table, I think the next thing we need to do is to run this drive belt from the servo motor up to the machine itself. So there's a little clamp here that holds a cover over what looks like the drive shaft for the whole machine. So we're gonna loosen that clamp and remove the cover. And so this is the pulley that we're gonna connect the belt to. So I'm gonna run this one over the pulley underneath on the servo motor and run it up through this slot. And if it works like a sewing machine, we'll find that there's too much tension on it, so we're actually going to need to tilt this back on the hinges on the back of the machine here, and that will put a little bit of slack into the system so that I can actually get it around. Then when we set this back down, it will have the proper tension on it, or at least be able to be adjusted to the proper tension. All right, I think we're there, so I'm going to plug it in here for the first time and fire it up, and we'll see what happens. We have lights, that's good. All right, so I think it's ready to go. So before we actually feed the leather through. I'll just depress the foot pedal, give it a little test spin, make sure things are working okay. So I want to see this bell spin, and also the feed wheel should spin. The feed wheel is kind of a coarse stone, so it grips the bottom of the leather and brings it on in to the knife, which is spinning around. So we'll give it a go here. So that all seems positive. It seemed to go when we wanted it to go. Let's try a piece of leather. All right, well, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks again to Tandy Leather for making this happen. Can't wait to get to work and make some bags.